Sup internet, I'm Model Johnny, and welcome to my YouTube channel and the very first episode of my new series, Let's Talk About That. It's where I talk about upcoming movies, TV series, history of their production, movie news, and comics. Then I break them down to make them easy to follow and give you my personal thoughts. In today's episode, I will be recapping everything that came out of D23, which is a celebration of all things Disney. In particular, I'll be only talking about their movies and TV shows. And I have some thoughts, which I will talk about later in the video, and I will go even further into future episodes. Plus, to make this easy to follow, I'll be breaking them down into the following categories: Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. So, with that all said, let's talk about everything at D23. To kick things off, we got the trailer for Moana 2, directed by Daredevil Jr. The film is set 3 years later after the original film. Moana and Maui return for an expansive new journey alongside a crew of unlikely seafarers. After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she has ever faced. This new film will also be introducing new characters, including, Shima, I'm probably mispronouncing it, so let's go with Sima. Anyway, Sima is Moana's little sister. There's a lot more about the film, so if you're interested, leave a note in the comments and I'll make a future video about this. But either way, Moana 2 comes out November 27th of 2024. Next is Snow White. Alright, let's do this. Directed by Mark Webb, Disney's Snow White is a live-action reimagining of the classic 1937 film. The magical music adventure journeys back to the timeless story with beloved characters Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. And trust me, I have a lot more to say about this film, which I will detail further in an upcoming episode. Alright, what's next? Oh, come on! So, it looks like that we're not done with the live-action remakes yet, as we got the trailer for Mufasa, the Lion King. In case you don't remember, this is a prequel to the 2019 live-action Lion King remake. The prequel is going to be directed by Barry Jenkins. According to the synopsis, Rafiki relays the legend of Mufasa to the young lion cub Kiara, the daughter of Simba and Nala, with Timon and Pumbaa being their signature comedic stick. Told in flashback, the story includes Mufasa as an orphan cub, lost and alone until he meets the sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to the royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of extraordinary groups of misfits searching for their destiny. Their bond will be tested as they work together to evade a threatening and deadly foe. And if you don't know who Taka is, that is supposed to be the original name for Scar, so yeah. It pretty much makes Mufasa look like the bad guy in all this. And that Scar may have been justified in his actions, so hashtag justice for Scar, I guess. Either way, Mufasa the Lion King comes out December 20th of 2024. We also got our first look at Stitch in the upcoming live-action remake of, well, Lilo and Stitch. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad, and frankly, out of all the characters who made their way into these live-action remakes, he probably is one of the more better looking. But Lilo and Stitch will be directed by newcomer Dean Fleischer-Camp and will come out sometime in 2025 in the summer. And with that, we're finally done with these live-action remakes. We also got some concept art for Frozen 3, including the announcement plans for Frozen 4, as well as a digital recording of the Broadway musical of Frozen coming to Disney+. Frozen 3 will come out sometime in 2027. Then we got a new look at Zootopia 2 with returning director Jared Bush, where we got the introduction of a new character named Gary, played by Oscar winner Ki Han-won. And Gary is going to be a character that Nick and Judy are searching for, and judging by the logo, he's probably going to be a key part of the movie. Then we got Fortune Feimster playing the character known as Nibs, and according to IMDb, Brave Rabbit, Judy Hopps, and her friend, the Fox Nick Wilde, team up again to crack a new case, the most perilous and intricate of their careers. While there are some leaked footage depicting some scenes from the movies, I'm not going to show this because I don't want to get copyrighted on the first episode, but it does show Nick and Judy and Nibs looking for Gary in a new area of Zootopia known as Marsh Market, a town inhabited by hippos, beavers, and sea lions. Zootopia 2 comes out November 26th of 2025. We also got the official logo for Avatar 3, now officially titled Avatar Fire and Ash. Once again, it's going to be directed by James Cameron, and while we don't know much about the plot coming out of D23, what we do know is that it's going to be taking place immediately after Way of Water, and that Jake and the Sully clan will be meeting the Fire People, being described as an aggressive volcanic clan of the Na'vi, led by the leader of this so-called Fire Nation, Barag, who will be the main antagonist of the film. Most of my information is coming from the Avatar wiki, so check it out if you're interested about this film. Either way, Avatar Fire and Ash comes out in December 19th of 2025, and remember, this is the third of 5 films, so Avatar 4 will come out sometime in December of 2029, and Avatar 5 will come out in December 19th of 2031. We also got a lot of news about the upcoming third Tron movie, Tron Ares, where not only the logo was revealed, but the film will be apparently scored by the rock band 9 Inch Nails. The film will be directed by Yosef Ramin. I'm probably butchering that, but Tron Ares itself will follow the highly sophisticated program Ares, who is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission marking humanity's first encounter with AI beings. With Jared Leto playing the titular character Ares, described as master control of the Dillinger system, a program who is looking for a way to make the real world his own permanently. Which honestly sounds a little sinister, like maybe Ares might be an anti-hero, or at least an antagonist of some sort. But I guess we'll wait and see. Then we got Greta Lee playing the character Eve Kim, where she describes her character as a brilliant programmer whose greatest work provides a path for Ares to come into the real world. And lastly, we got Evan Peters playing Julian Dillinger. While not much was said about his character, what he did state was, "We know the name Dillinger doesn't always mean great things for the grid." There was also some footage shown of the film, which again I can't really show. I'll put a link in the description where you can check it out. But honestly, I didn't know this film existed, but after the research, this film sounds badass. Tron Ares comes out October 10th of 2025. There was also the announcement of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's new film, Monster Jam, based on the live motorsports show, which he described the story as from the POV of those incredible iconic monster trucks and their eccentric and crazy drivers. With, unfortunately, because this was just announced, there is no known release date yet. We also got the confirmation of the sequel to 2003's Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, now officially titled Freakier Friday. The film picks up years after the first movie. Anna now has a daughter of her own and a soon-to-be stepdaughter as they navigate the myriad of challenges that comes when two family merges. Tess and Anna discover that lightning might indeed strike twice, and the film is set to come out sometime in 2025. Then we got the announcement and teaser trailer for Season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which will be adapted in the second book, Sea of Monsters, with the introduction to Tyson, a Cyclops, and Percy's half-brother, played by Daniel Deemer. For Pixar's part, let's start with Toy Story 5, which will be directed by Andrew Stanton, who directed WALL-E, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, A Bug's Life, and will be co-directed by McKenna Jean Harris, who directed the short Ciao Alberto. This time around, The toys who have always been there for their kids will find their job cut out from them when they go head to head with electronics. Hence why in the concept art, Bonnie's being depicted as an iPad kid. You also may notice that Woody is in this shot, even though at the end of Toy Story 4, he decided to stay with Bo Peep to become a lost toy. So, how? Why? Honestly, I think they'll probably explain it in the movie. Not a big deal. And besides that, they also announced that the villains will be an army of 50 malfunctioning Buzz Lightyear figures. Kind of feel like they took some inspiration from Toy Story 3, but that's just me. Anyways, Toy Story 5 comes out June 19th, 2026. In a surprise turn, we got the announcement for The Incredibles 3 with Brad Bird returning to direct. Not much is known about the plot or the release date because it was just announced, so I'll make sure to keep an eye on this one. We also got some news about Pixar's upcoming original film, Elio. As a reminder, the film follows Elio, an underdog with an active imagination who finds himself inadvertently beamed up to the Communiverse, an interplanetary organization with representatives from galaxies far and wide, mistakenly identified as Earth's ambassador to the rest of the universe, and completely unprepared for that kind of pressure. Elio must form new bonds with eccentric alien life forms, survive a series of formidable trials, and somehow discover who he is truly meant to be. The film was originally directed by Adrian Molina, the co-director of Coco, but now it's being directed by Dami Shi, the director of Turning Red, and co-directed by Madeline Schafrin, who made the 2020 short Burrow. Now, the head of Pixar, Pete Docter, did explain the reason for the change, in which he, Adrian, was taking priority over another project that we're not ready to talk about, but is very excited, and he, Adrian again, is excited about it as well. And we got a new cast member, features Zoe Saldana, who will be voicing Elio's aunt. Elio comes out on June 13th of 2025. To follow that, we also got the announcement of their new film, Hoppers, being directed by Daniel Chung, who is best known as the creator for We Bare Bears, which already piqued my interest because I really like that show. Anyways, back to the films. It asks, what if you could talk to animals and understand what they're saying? In Disney and Pixar's all-new feature film Hoppers, scientists have discovered how to hop human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals, allowing people to communicate with animals as animals. The adventure includes Mabel, an animal-loving girl who seizes an opportunity to use the technology, uncovering mysteries within the animal world that are beyond anything she could have imagined. As for the cast, we got our mind-hopping protagonist Mabel, voiced by Piper Cruda. Then we got King George, a regal beaver who Mabel befriends, played by Bobby Moynihan, and the main antagonist being Mayor Jerry, voiced by John Hamm. Hoppers Hops in theaters March 6, 2026. Win or Lose! The long-awaited Pixar's animated series that follows the story of a co-ed middle school softball team during the week leading up to the big championship game. Each episode will be 20 minutes long and will feature a perspective of a different character during the same week. Consisting of 8 episodes, Win or Lose will debut in December 6, 2024. There's also another series, Dream Production, a spin-off of Inside Out. The upcoming series will focus on dream production, an area of the mind where dreams and nightmares are created, complete with a Hollywood-esque set, actors, music, and production staff. Dream Productions comes out sometime in spring 2025. Alright, for the Marvel section, we're going to start things off with the movies. We got some updates for Captain America Brave New World. Honestly, there hasn't been really much shown outside of what's been already shown for San Diego Comic-Con. Just some affirmation on a few things. But as a reminder, the main villain of this movie will be Timothy Blake Nelson as the leader who was teased in the 2008 Hulk movie when he was accidentally cross-contaminated with Bruce's blood during the events of that film, thus becoming superhumanly smart. alongside Giancarlo Esposito, who's best known for playing Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, will be playing Sidewinder, leader of the Serpent Society, a group of snake-themed villains. As for the plot itself, the film will be some sort of global arms race, as it will be the introduction to adamantium, which, if you don't know, is the metal that Wolverine's claws are made of, and are apparently is what the Celestial is made of. In particular, the Celestial at the top of the world from the end of Eternals. And even in some of the footage which they showed at Comic-Con, which President Thaddeus Ross, this time being played by Harrison Ford, directly comes out about during a State to the People. And of course, him turning into the Red Hulk. And if you made it this far into the video, first of all, I want to say thank you, and that all the descriptions of the exclusive footage at D23 will be in the description of this video. Back to the topic, Captain America Brave New World will come out February 14th, 2025. Honestly, there is not much new to talk about either with the upcoming Thunderbolts movie or Fantastic Four First Steps, as I tend to make a future Let's Talk About That about Fantastic Four First Steps. As for the TV series, the only really notable one is a new trailer for the upcoming a spin-off of WandaVision, starring the villain Agatha Harkness once again being played by Catherine Hahn, who only became popular because her theme song went viral. The series would depict the infamous Agatha Harkness finding herself down and out of powers after a suspicious goth teen helps her break free from a distorted spell. Her interest is piqued when he begs her to take him on the legendary Witch's Row, a magical gauntlet of trials that if survived rewards a witch with whatever they're missing. Agatha and the mysterious team pull together a coven and set off down the road. Comes out September 18th, 2024. Following this will be Daredevil Born Again, which depicts longtime rivals Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk trying to leave behind their darker alter egos to serve the people of New York, only to have their past catch up to them. There was exclusive footage at D23, which once again, I can't show, but it does depict the main villain of Season 1 going to be the Muse. We also got the introduction of the MCU White Tiger, played by Cardeles Reyes, who unfortunately passed away on December 24th of 2023, and the return of John Bernthal as the Punisher. Daredevil Born Again will come out sometime in March 2025, so look forward to that. We also have Ironheart, in which, and I quote, Marvel Studios' Ironheart stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, a genius inventor who creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man, which frankly doesn't tell us much. But what we do know is that it takes place after Wakanda Forever and involves Riri returning back home to Chicago, and the series has also been described as, quote, pits technology against magic. There was also exclusive footage showing Riri flying and teaming up with Anthony Ramos' character, who is known as Peter David Robbins, aka The Hood. While we don't have an official release date, expected to come out sometime in 2025. Whew, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, next up is their animated series. There's the upcoming third season of What If, which not only will feature characters such as Moon Knight, Ironheart, Shang-Chi, and White Vision, but this will also be the final season, so stay tuned on... Wait, when does it come out? Oh! There's no release date yet. Huh. We also got a sizzle reel for X-Men 97 Season 2, in which they will apparently be wearing the Grant Morrison suit and will feature characters such as Havoc, Polaris, Bishop, Apocalypse, and Danger. Eyes of Wakanda. This series will be about the Wakandan warriors who throughout history have traveled all over the world to receive dangerous vibranium artifacts. We got a lot of info about the series, including some of the different locations like the mystical city of Kunlun and a new Iron Fist. And speaking of new characters, we will get a new one called Noni? I'm sorry. Anyways, this character will act as a disruptor in Wakanda, trying to expose some of the country's corruption to the people of the hidden nation. Which makes a lot of sense, as Ryan Coogler described the series as how warlords are challenged with keeping Wakanda's secrets, so we can go back and look at the sacrifice people made to keep that secret. Then there was everything that was going on with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I intend to do a future episode based on this. But, not to leave you hanging, it describes a Spider-Man that you know but may not be the one you expect. Like how Peter's mentor will be Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark. In fact, Norman is described as a bit shady with questionable methods, so basically Norman Osborn. So look forward to an upcoming episode where we will go deeper into Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and the series will come out allegedly November 2nd of 2024. But we'll wait and see. Lastly, in the Marvel section, we got, well, Marvel Zombies, which is being described as a hardcore TVMA series with a 4-episode count. The series will be headed by anyways, it looks like the main character is going to be Shang-Chi anyways, so as long as it's not Spider-Man or it's going to have the introduction of the MCU version of Paul, I'm all set. And at this time, there is no official release date. In this section, we got the trailer for the upcoming Skeleton Crew, created by John Watts and Christopher Ford. This is a family-friendly coming-of-age story set 5 years after the Battle of Endor. The series follows 4 children who end up on an adventure to make their way home after being lost in space following a discovery that they made on their home planet. The series has been described as the Goonies in space, and yeah, you can tell, but honestly, this might be the shake of Star Wars release right now. I guess we'll wait and see when it comes out on Disney Plus on December 4th, 2024. Then there's season 2 of Andor, in which we got some new concept art for the series and a little bit more about what's going to be happening this season, including the return of characters like Krennic and K2SO. As for the plot, it'll be taking place over 4 years lead up to the events of Rogue One, thus meaning this more likely will be the final season. The season will have 12 episodes and there's no release date, but it will most likely come out in 2025. Next is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie based on the popular Disney Plus series. The film will be directed by the show's creator Jon Favreau, and not much was really shown outside of a sizzle reel, which depicts scenes of the Mandalorian infiltrating a base full of snowtroopers in a planet that might be Hoth or another snowy planet, Grogu wearing Mandalorian armor, and the return of Zeb from Star Wars Rebels. The movie comes out May 22nd, 2026. Then, just because I thought this would be funny, we got LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, an upcoming miniseries in which the entire Star Wars galaxy gets completely mixed up when an ordinary nerf herder, Sig Greeblink, man, these Star Wars names, played by Gatton Matrazio, I think that's right, unearths a powerful artifact from a hidden Jedi temple. He finds himself thrust in an adventure in a new, wondrously wild and twisted version of the galaxy where good guys are bad and bad guys are good, and the fate of all depends on Sig becoming the hero who can put all the pieces back together. Honestly, I just wanted to spotlight this because it actually features Darth Jar Jar. Anyways, comes out September 13th of 2024 on Disney Plus. Check it out! Well, that's the end of everything that came out at D23. Let me know if I missed anything, and thanks for watching the first episode of Let's Talk About. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. I'm Mono Johnny, and end transmission.